Welcome back, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Just Go With It, Worth Your Time, where today we start a series of Oscar movies.
Yeah, we watched Dune. No.
We still haven't watched Dune. We'll get to it. But with the Best Picture nominations, they've been announced what the 10 nominations are, the nominees. And with that Oscar reveal coming in shortly on March 10th, I thought we'd watch the 10 movies that were nominated and decide for ourselves what the best picture of 2023 should be.
So, Jared, what did we watch today?
We watched Barbie. um, I am kind of surprised this is even in the nominations, but I know why it is. And I'm very curious. This is my third time watching it.
Are you
I'm very
surprised though?
curious. No, but that's what I want to get into. Like, okay, just when you see the list of movies and then Barbie's in there, like I let you choose. Basically, I had the movies put out in 1 out of 10 option, and he just randomly chose a number and he chose Barbie. And I was like, this is so out of whack compared to the other movies on this list. But I mean, hey, I'm here for it. So I'm curious, Ben, as a first time watcher, what did you think of Barbie?
It was a roller coaster. I was like, this is stupid. And then I was like, okay, this is pretty funny. And then I was like, okay, this is just like silly, funny, a good movie. And then I was like, okay, we're getting emotional now. And then I was like, okay, I don't feel justified. And I was like, okay, I do feel justified. you know. And then I was like, I need that hoodie. And I was like, so I would say I enjoyed it. And it did not take, a drink or two to enjoy it.
That
Right
was
over
my
here.
thoughts.
And I was
Ben
like,
is
I'm laughing my
sober.
butt off.
He is completely sober. I, on the other hand, have had some drinks. But Ben here has sat through this movie sober and he liked it. That's the sign of a good movie. This is freaking Barbie.
I will give you something else. I didn't just like it. I loved it.
Really?
Yo,
Oh my
yeah.
God. I love it. I
I know
I
this.
I
I know this isn't like that series, but like it's worth your time. Just put that
yeah.
out there. I know this is like a whole different like weird sub series that we're doing, but it's worth your time.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even know what to call this series. I'm excited that we're even doing this. I've wanted to do something like this for a very long time. I've wanted to watch all the pictures or the movies that were nominated for Best Picture and then decide for myself. So I'm
It
excited to do this.
are we? Are we? It feels weird to do reviews. I think we're probably going to do reviews at the end after we see all of them. That
Well,
makes sense. If you do reviews now, then you kind of get an idea of where we place things. And the whole point was to us compare notes at the end, right?
yeah, but I feel like we could still give our general thoughts and stuff.
Well, it's like these are Oscar like nominated like movies. It's like they're all going to be like 9 or 10 out of 10. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I don't know,
But I don't
but
know. I mean, that's a personal decision, you know? Like there could be some of these movies that we don't feel are 9 out of 10s. But do you think like did you like it that much? I love it. I love it. Because going into this, you were like, I know people
mwah,
said that this movie's good, but
mwah.
like, I don't think it's gonna be that good, or something.
Oh
You said
no,
something
okay,
like that.
okay, no. I was like, I know people said this is good, but how?
Yeah.
It's like I'm not one into touchy feely movies. I'm not that kind of person. I'm not a big movie guy. I'm not as I actively avoid dramatic situations, and I wouldn't call this dramatic though. This wasn't really a drama,
No, no.
but
It's a comedy, but like, it's a very like, it's a comedy that faces real world issues, and
weirdly enough.
Yeah. And I feel like it did a good job. Something I want to talk about. We're kind of gonna get into like some serious
Spoilers here
conversation
and
here.
out, boy. I know, like,
Yeah.
I know we try to
Pretty
keep.
much, this movie's the highest grossing movie of the year. Pretty much everybody has seen this movie. Well, of last year, sorry.
So
Um,
if you wanted to be spoiler free, leave now.
yeah, but
Got our
it's
initial
worth a watch.
thoughts,
It's
but we're
worth a
gonna start.
watch. Everyone says it. It's worth your time.
Even if it's just once, like
Yeah,
with by yourself might be a bit weird, but with a friend, yeah,
yeah. Even if
fun
you're a
to.
guy and you think like, oh, it's Barbie, there's enough guy humor. Ryan Gosling provides enough guy humor to watch it.
Oh yeah. So
um,
let's get into it, boy.
yeah. So something I want to talk about. Um, Going into this movie, I was really afraid it was going to just be, and a lot of people I think thought this was, it was going to just be female empowerment the entire time. And it was just going to be like, this is why women are the best and this is why men suck. And, going into that, I was like, whatever, I expect it. Like, that's what I was kind of thinking it was going to be. But I don't think it was that. I think it was like, at first, like, yeah, this is female empowerment. This is it. Everything's perfect. Everything's run by women. This is perfect. Then you see like, oh, Ken's kind of like left in the dust. He's kind of like nobody cares about him or anything like that. Then you get to the real world and you see, oh, everything's the opposite. And it's like, oh, okay, yeah, like I see that too. And then by the end, I feel like it comes to this really good middle ground where it's just like Barbie understands, like, man, maybe I was kind of a jerk to Ken. Maybe I was like never thinking of him and stuff. And I feel like it just did a really good job at not only showing female empowerment, but also like, men need to be acknowledged and like not respected. That's the wrong word, but like I guess just acknowledged, like it needs to just be like we're humans too. And
I
that's what I feel
like.
like it does a good job at, not just being a woman's movie and that's it. Like this movie's only for women. Like I feel like it really is for men too.
It's strange because like I'd say the first three quarters of the movie, it felt very women empowerment. Women, being unjust. You get to real world and it's like, oh, women don't have any right. Well, not, you know what I mean. Like
Hmm.
women don't have any power, nothing like that. Is all about women empowerment. This whole movie. But then again, what you said about and again, I'm not a woman. I'm a man,
Yeah.
so I can only speak from my experience, and that's just what it is. Um, I'm right there with you, dude. I agree. How yes, we saw the beginning was how what sort of a this isn't me saying this with a quote unquote woman's world would be with Barbie world. How everything was perfect, everything went the way they wanted. Men kind of catered to the women there, and that's how that was. And then they showed the other side of that, where obviously Ken took it to an extreme. Um, but there is a history of patriarchy. That is a thing that happened. Um, it is a thing that still is happening to a degree. Like there's no argument about that. Um, but it took it to that extreme where you got to see the other side of the coin, where it was the Kens being catered to by the women, and it was like,
Hmm.
okay, you got to see both sides of that coin. Now they kind of played the women's side at the beginning as just like, this is the status quo, but then we got to the end and it's like, okay, no, that's not supposed to be the status quo. And I
Yeah.
even told you during the movie, I was like, we got all this women empowerment. I feel like, where's the men's? They're doing all this because they felt like they've had nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the whole reason they're acting that way. And I thought they did it beautifully, where they're like, okay, no, like Barbie realized, yeah, I was, like you said, I was kind of being a douchebag. I
Yeah.
was not paying attention. I mean, that doesn't excuse Ken's actions, but at the same time, that doesn't excuse my own actions either.
Yeah, exactly.
It was like,
And not to
what
mention
was the
too,
phrase?
go-
Ken again. How did that go? What was it?
what?
I forgot it already. The phrasing. Hold on. I even looked it up and everything. I'm Ken enough.
I'm Knuff. Yeah.
I'm Ken enough.
No, it's
It was
perfect. I mean, it's
like
literally on hoodies. A friend of mine went out and bought that hoodie like after the movie.
yeah. I'm like I love how it was about women's empowerment, but it didn't just ignore the man's side either. It's like there
Hmm.
are plenty of men out. Again, I'm a man, so I can speak to this. Plenty of guys out there who, sure, there are some privileges as to men, as there are privileges to women too. They have both have different sides, different things that they get or whatever. But they really touched upon both, and I love that. They handled it
Yeah.
very well,
Yeah.
very
Because it
tactfully.
didn't have to. Like going into it, I was fully expecting just women empowerment the entire time, but like I felt like did a good job for men too. Like I really
Yeah,
feel like it gave that empowering message. And I don't know. I was really satisfied. And then not to mention only the ending of the movie itself when Barbie's talking to Ruth the handler and like becoming deciding she wants to become human. I feel like was such a well done scene. Like literally had me tear like a tear came down my eyes third time I saw this movie and I was still like, dang, this is freaking making me cry right now. And then all the scenes of home movies of like other young girls and stuff through the ages of just like moments in time I just felt was beautiful. I loved the ending of this movie.
I loved it too. I know this is a very sensitive topic, but I just love how it was handled.
Yeah. Yeah.
Both sides felt very noticed or seen, if that
Mhm.
makes sense. It was awesome. I loved it. I just loved it.
Yeah. And I definitely understand why this was the highest grossing movie of last year. Like
Well,
everybody
well,
could enjoy this, you know?
think about it. They put a very topical thing in there, a very
Hmm.
sensitive subject. They handled it well. So that's like first, wow, you achieved that. Number two, it was hilarious as butts. It was
Yeah.
amazing. It was just downright hilarious. And number three, there was that sort of adventure escapism. Like it didn't take itself too it didn't take itself too seriously to where you gotta kind of get bogged down.
Hmm.
Even the serious moments, it was still a bit lighthearted, you know. And that was, I don't know, it was just refreshing. It wasn't like super dramatic, but it wasn't like too jokey. It was pretty jokey, but you know what I mean. It wasn't like
Yeah,
just
yeah.
throwaway stuff.
Yeah.
And what you said earlier was ridiculous, but really hits home how this movie had much more real world implications than movies that are based in the real world.
Yeah. Like this
And
freaking
it's like
has
it's
like an alternate
Barbie.
reality. Like this is Barbie.
And the fact that they did that, I 100% can see why people love this movie so very much.
Yeah. Like I don't know. Like I went and saw this. This came out the same day as Oppenheimer. So like, all the Barbenheimer memes and stuff like that. I did that. I went and saw Oppenheimer and Barbie on the same day. And I saw Oppenheimer first and then this, and I was like, I don't know why I'm crying to Barbie right now. Like after sitting in the theater for 5 hours, like I'm crying at Barbie.
Your
So
eyes are like bleeding from all like the giant screen just digging in your eyes.
but yeah, I really loved it. And I know we're not giving our official ratings right now, but we are writing them down and we're writing a ranking. So at the end, this
Are
is
we
part
are we writing ratings or just listing like Ranking.
list a ranking, and write what you would rate the movie beside it, and then we'll go over that
Okay.
all at the very end. Or do you
Okay.
want to rate them now? It's up
No,
to
I
you.
think no. Let's wait.
Okay, so this video is part 1 of 10. We will come back and discuss the next movie.
We're going to be blitzing through these movies because we don't got a lot of time.
Yeah, March 10th is the Oscars, and I'm very excited to see what wins Best Picture. But I'm also excited to see what we decide should be the Best Picture of the year. So
I
until
mean,
then,
whoever wins, we're just gonna have to go with it.